The final trailer to Marvel's Eternals revealed to us more details, or at least a better look at the deviants and what we can expect. Now, the main one is drawing a lot of interest from fans, and of course a lot of comparisons and speculation. Mainly the fact that they seem to look like some sort of symbiotic thing. So let's talk about a possible connection. So when it comes to Marvel's Eternals, the main villain of the film will be this fella here. This is Crow, or at least that's how I'm going to pronounce it till they announce how it's pronounced. As people have pointed out in the trailers, whatever these deviants are, they seem to have a weird shape-shifting ability with their tendrils specifically, which has drawn some comparisons, and obviously the similarities that are drawing the comparisons with the likes of symbiotes in Venom, and just symbiotes in general. Now, just so we're clear, the deviants in this film are like 100% not the deviants in the comics. For example, I'm going to show you right now what Crow looks like in the comics. Yeah, let this sink in. Just let this sink in. Yup. Let's move on from this. In the comics, the story is complex to say the least, but the deviants are an offshoot of creationism and that whole thing that leads to the whole ancient astronaut theory and all that. They're deeply involved. Now, quite obviously, the deviants in the film are going to be very different in at least how they look. In the comics, though, they do have an accelerated healing factor, and they have the ability to shapeshift, which we quite clearly see in the trailer. They're definitely having some sort of shape-shifting abilities with, the ability to grow wings, to grow in size, to be able to just exponentially make themselves bigger and have more tendrils. So, however they explain this, we have to wait and see. Quite obviously, it's again drawn a lot of similarities to symbiotes, and with Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios in general, and Sony saying, well, we're probably going to work together a little bit closer down the road, and both of them teasing that Venom in the MCU, Spider-Man in the Venomverse. Is there anything here? I'm just going to say it right now, I do not believe so. I do not think there's going to be any connection to anything that's related to symbiotes. Unless, and this is a big one, unless Gore the God Butcher is going to be explained as somebody that's been around for so long that somehow he's connected to all of this as well. And that he is in fact, like in the comics, going to have a symbiote and the symbiote sword, for example. If that's the case, then I could see it. But they wouldn't technically explain that in Eternals, because Gore the God Butcher isn't in it. So there's already a few places in the MCU where you could legitimately explain symbiotes. I do not think Crow is one of them. That's just my opinion.